Hello and welcome to all. Today's session we will see what are the criteria to identify test cases for automation part 2. Okay, so if in case your organization is using either Selenium, Playwright or jmeter, or if in case in interview, if you ask what are the criteria to identify the test cases for automation, then today's session we'll see what are the good candidate test cases for the automation. Okay, so in earlier video also we have covered some of the criteria to identify the test case for automation. Okay, and today's session we'll see the pending test cases. Okay, for automation. Okay, so like if you see here, as I mentioned earlier, so one of the mistake as a QA team we are doing, we are trying to automate every test cases. But remember, automation is not about automating the everything; it's about automating the right things. Then and then it saves the a lot of organization's time and we'll get a return on investment. That is nothing but it's a ROI. Now we'll see smoke testing. Okay, like if we are using the smoke suites validation after the each deployment, okay, then first we need to consider the smoke suite for the automation, and those are the good candidate for the automation. Like if you see here, I give the example like application launch, login, dashboard, logout, which we are executing these test cases after every deployment. Then we'll select those test cases for the automation. Then next, sanity testing. Okay, if you have a sanity suites, okay, we'll also select that one for the important modules. This is the useful when dev team fix any bug. Okay, so as part of the sanity verification, we'll execute only to that respective models. We'll execute it. Okay, and we'll make sure that there should not be any regression impact. Okay. The next high volume data validation. Okay, like if we in case we need to verify or validate the high volume data, okay, manually it's impossible, but through automation we'll validate the data quickly. Then time consuming test cases. Okay, so there are some test cases which are very time consuming, so we need to wait, we need to download, and we need to validate the PDF. Okay, which will take a manual teams a lot of times, but using automation we'll quickly do it and we'll get a consistent result. So we'll also consider the test cases which are taking a time consuming. Then parallel execution. Okay, so playwright execute the multiple browsers simultaneously. Okay, so now here you can see it like as part of the requirements. Okay, if product is expecting like it should verify the same test case or it should execute on the different browser, either it's Chrome and the Edge. Okay, so instead of executing one by one test cases, we'll execute the parallel, which saves the manual team's time a lot. Okay, and even it reduces the regression cycle as well. Like here I give the example, instead of 200 test 5 hours, okay, we'll run the 10 workers 25 minutes, it is completing, no need to wait 5 hours. Okay, so we'll also select the some test cases which are the human error prone scenarios. Like if in case we have a scenario which we need to enter the 150 fields. Okay, so it's maybe chances that their manual as a human will make the mistake. Okay, but through automation, if we try to enter the 150 fields, we'll get a consistent result. The next, performance testing requirement. Okay, if the objective is response time or the scalability, okay, then we will not, as we mentioned, okay, we will not select the Selenium. Okay, so we'll go ahead with the jmeter. Okay, like if you, in case we need to verify that, like 50 users log in together, okay, or concurrent, then in that case, we'll go ahead with the Selenium, sorry, jmeter. Okay, like as I mentioned, return on investment, this is the most important criteria, and automation should save more effort than it cost. Okay, now here you can see earlier automation development cost is more, but when as and when the scripts get developed, okay, it in execution and in the regression, even if we execute the regression or the same test case every sprint, okay, it saves a lot of times. Here we can mention, and remember, if maintenance exceeds the saving, I skip it manual. Okay, that is a positive ROI. Okay, now today we'll also see what are the test cases that should not be automated. Okay, so when we are identifying the test case for the automation, we also need to make sure that test cases which should not be automated, and we'll change the status not automated or cannot be automated. Okay, so here like scenarios like frequently changing UI, there is no any point to automating the test case because the UI is continuously changing it, then definitely our test case will also get failed. Okay, it's a high maintenance cost. Okay, then there are some test cases we need to execute one-time execution. Okay, so as part of the any specific user story, we need to execute some test cases. We need to write it once, and we need to execute one time only. Okay, so in that case, we will get the poor ROI. So we will not select the such kind of test cases for the automation. Okay, the next exploratory testing. Okay, it's require the human creativity. Okay, we'll also not select the test cases which are the exploratory testing. Okay, usability testing, ad hoc testing. Okay, these all are human interventions required. Okay, and unpredictable scenarios are there. So we'll not go ahead with the usability testing, ad hoc testing. Then even requirements are unstable. That prototype application also will not select it. Okay, and there are some models which are we are executing only once. Okay, in that case, it's automation is overhead. So we'll not select this kind of test cases. Okay, and these all test cases are not a good candidate for the automation. Okay, in that case, we will not select and we'll simply mention cannot be automated. Okay, then next, here I give the difference between the Selenium versus Playwright versus jmeter for the which are the good test cases or which are the test cases a good candidate for the automation. Okay, like criteria I have mentioned UI validation or UI testing or functional automation. We'll go ahead with the Selenium or the Playwright, but not jmeter. Okay, then API testing, okay, I will suggest go ahead with the JMeter. Though we can use the Playwright and the Selenium, but we'll select the JMeter. Okay, performance testing, obvious, we'll go ahead with the JMeter, not the Selenium and the Playwright. Okay, if you are doing the cross-browser testing, okay, Playwright is the best candidate. Okay, then parallel execution, again Playwright will go ahead with the par Playwright. Okay, load testing, okay, and the performance stress testing will select the JMeter only. Okay, so here I give the one example, okay, for what are the test cases or the we can see we can select the good candidate for the automation. Okay, login we can automate it definitely using the tool like Selenium Playwright because it's either it's using in the smoke testing or the in regression. Okay, then core functionality we'll also go with the functional testing tool. Then business criticality, okay, revenue impact, high risk things. We'll go ahead with the functional testing tool that is the Selenium or the Playwright. Okay, but if in case our UI get changing frequently, then we'll go ahead with the manual testing only. Okay, or even exploratory testing. Okay, but if in case our requirement is like we need to verify with the concurrent logins like 50 users, 100 users, and how much time like home page is taking to load, then definitely in that case we'll go ahead with the JMeter. Okay, now now here we can see uh, automating the right test that deliver the business value, okay, which reduces the regression effort and improves the release confidence and provide a positive return on investment. Okay, so remember, so automating all the test cases is not required. Automation is a strategic investment, not a goal in itself. Okay, so that's all, and those are the criteria to identify the best candidate for the automation. Okay, if in case you have any questions, queries, please let me know. Thank you.